Right then, it's back with a Budget Inkwell, and today I've got another deck for you that comes in at just under $50 and is extremely fun to play as well. So with Rise of the Floodborn, Red got a whole new fun tools that makes challenging not only really fun, but really advantageous. For example, we got cards like Shere, which lets you get one lore every time one of your characters challenges. That can add up really fast. So we're going to play 4 Shere card and we're going to combo that with our main attacker, Aladdin from set 1, who has the ability Daring Exploit, which means whenever Aladdin banishes another character in a challenge, you get 2 lore and your opponent loses 2 lore. But if you have Shere out, you actually now get 3 lore, or if you have 2 Shere out, you get 4 just for challenging, and your opponent loses lore too. That's like an 8 lore swing. But it doesn't stop there, because we play 4 of the Shift Queen of Hearts as well. So whenever you challenge one of your opponent's characters, you get to draw a card as well. So if you have 2 Shere out and a Queen of Hearts, if Aladdin KOs someone, you get 3 lore, your opponent loses 2 lore, and you get to draw a card. So with all that in mind, we play a ton of ways so we can try and attack with Aladdin multiple times in a turn. So we have cards like Lefou, which lets you ready up a character when you put him into play. Fan the Flames lets you ready up one of your characters. We've even got a new card, Go the Distance, which is a new card, which is a song, which lets you ready up one of your damaged chosen characters, and then you get to draw a card as well. But it doesn't just stop there though, because there was this real fun Cogsworth card, which actually gives your reckless characters the ability to quest for 1 lore. And this was interesting, because one downside to Aladdin is that he is quite a late game card. He's a shift 5, so you have to wait at least till turn 5 to get him into play. We can't afford to just let our opponents have free reign until turn 5, even if the baby Aladdin actually knocks off one of your opponent's lore and you put him into play. We need something for the early game. So I thought this Cogsworth, in combination with a whole host of reckless characters like Felicia, Gaston and Maui, and even a little cheeky T card for later on, we can actually have a decent early game where we can just remove our opponent's characters, and then Aladdin can come in a mid to late game to sweep up. And since we're playing this Cogsworth, we might as well play the other Cogsworth, which is really interesting. So he's got Ward, so your opponent can't target him with cards like Fire the Cannons and anything like this. But it also gives all your characters resist -1. So that now means Aladdin reduces damage coming in by 1 as well. Aladdin is looking very scary when you have all this stuff out. And since we're playing blue, we now get, in my opinion, the best draw engine in the game. 4 Pawpsicle, which lets you draw a card when you put it into play. 4 Develop Your Brain, which lets you look at the top 2 cards of your deck, put 1 in your hand, 1 to your bottom, and then 4 of the new Nothing to Hide, which gives you opponent hand knowledge, because it lets you look at your opponent's hand, and then you get to draw a card afterwards. And the great thing is about this little 12 card package is that Pawpsicle we can actually make use of by healing our Aladdin or anyone who we're using to challenge, because you can heal 2 by banishing the Pawpsicle too. Now, one problem about Aladdin based decks is that if your opponent doesn't exert, you actually can't challenge your opponents, which can be a little bit lackluster. So we are going to play 4 of the new Rattigan card. Really interesting. So when you put the Rattigan down, you can choose one of your opponent's characters with 3 cost or less, exert them, and then you get to unexert one of your characters as well. So that's another way to we can attack twice with Aladdin, or we can quest with Aladdin, Rattigan, ready up, bow, and start KOing stuff left, right and center. So the list you see here is the list I'm about to play that I took to local league. Stick around to the end of the video though, where I'm going to show you how I would play the deck now. I think this list needs a little bit of work and I think I've solved it. And stick around to the end of the video where you can win this Shere card. That's why I'm giving it away, shipping it globally. Let's get to the gameplay. The Aladdin gameplay. Now this is actually going to be a really fun game here. As you can see, my starting hand's actually pretty good. I've got a lot of options. I can see a lot of the blue Cogsworth already. We've got a Rattigan, who is actually uninkable, which is a little bit unfortunate. One of the only uninkables in the deck, actually, so I think it's fairly good to mulligan that. And I think we'll mulligan a big Queen of Hearts. And it looks like our hand, we've got the a Felicia and the baby Queen of Hearts as well. Worth noting that the 2-drop Queen of Hearts is actually a rush character as well. So I can actually do some real interesting stuff with that, like a bit like the Maui. So over to Over to our opponent, they're just going to ink one and put an Olaf into play. Now it's over to us. Now Gaston's really good. We forget how good Gaston is, in all honesty. We saw him in set 1, how much of a beat stick he can be. But it looks like we are going to have to play that Pawpsicle to draw a card. And that is about it for my turn. Not the most explosive. I guess our only one drop is Felicia, actually. So let's see what we can do. Our opponent has a free reign to quest with that Olaf. Because, you know, it's got free strength, isn't it? Or willpower, I should say, Olaf. So I don't think we can get to 3. So our opponent's pretty safe here, I feel. And this is a fun game. Look both of us with our new play mats as well. Let me know in the comments which one you prefer. That Winnie the Pooh or that Beast. Looks like our opponent's going to play Develop Your Brain. That has to be one of the best card names you can announce in any in any card game, right? Develop Your Brain. Okay, so our opponent they haven't inked yet, actually. So they can still ink, and I have one more ink to play with if they choose. Golly, this camera is moving a lot, isn't it? I'll have to get it off the table next time. I apologize. So let's see what. So they're going to ink there. So we've got 1 to go. But our opponent hasn't got anything to play, so they're just going to quest for 1. Okay, let's see. So we do have Felicia now, though, so we can get a Felicia into play if we like. We've also got Queen of Hearts as well, so we're going to have to ink something first. It looks like we want to try and develop the Queen of Hearts. I don't mind that, because drawing cards is never a bad thing. And in Lorcana, where draw is pretty slow, or limited, I should say, you should probably prioritize the draw as much as possible. So I think it's going to be Ink Felicia. I think that seems pretty sensible. And then it's going to be Queen of Hearts down. And then over to our opponent. Now, Queen of Hearts is Rush, so we could have challenged there. But I see no real need to, or reason to, I should say. So we're in a decent spot. This is the problem. I said a problem. Our early game isn't the greatest outside of Felicia and Gaston. You know, the baby Aladdin is a 3-drop, so we're not going to get to that anytime soon. So our opponent's going to ink. It looks like they're going to use all 3, maybe. Whoop, there we go. And then for Jasmine, 3-drop 2 lore. Wow, okay, so got to be careful. And our opponent just going to quest for 1. So now they're on 2 in total. Okay. So let's see what we can do here. Our hand is big. I'm liking this. We've got a lot of options. We've got the Queen of Hearts. I think we can actually shift into it if we like. So we're going to ink a Fan the Flames, shift into Queen of Hearts. Now we could challenge the Olaf here. Yep, so now we take 1 damage back. We get to draw a card though. Didn't quite see what it was. We still have 1 ink left, I think. So we have our draw options here. You know, we Develop Your Brain, Pawpsicle, Nothing to Hide. I don't know if I've got any of them available to me though. It doesn't look like it. The only blue cards I have is Cogsworth, which we cannot play. So I think it's going to be over to our opponent. We could actually pop that Pawpsicle to heal off that 1. Because that Jasmine can actually... or the Jasmine can KO us anyway. So there's no point in popping the Pawpsicle. So we might as well pass it back over to our opponent. Now let's see what they can do. That Jasmine quested for 2. It's kind of interesting. Because they're already 2 lore up. If they quest with that, they go down to 4. And we're at 0. We haven't found Shere Khan yet. Or anything like this. So our way of getting lore on the board isn't that great right now. Our opponent's going to pay 3 to sing Friends on the Other Side. Draw 2 cards. Love to see it. I wonder what those 2 cards were. Now you could actually play this as a purple deck, right? And then forego the Cogsworth. But I feel as if that's really important. But our opponent is choosing not to exert or do anything. They're just going to pass it over to us. I quite like that play, actually, because they know that chances are, if they quest with Jasmine, we will just remove it, and we get to draw a card as well. So, we're going to pay 2 for Gaston. We still haven't inked yet, so we're going to ink Aladdin, the 3-drop Aladdin. We've got 2 more left. Now we can get down Cogsworth as well. So that Cogsworth gives our reckless characters the ability to quest for 1 lore. So that Gaston can quest next turn if we desire. We probably won't. So our opponent's going to exert 4. Eye of the Fates. Eye of the Fates. It's a good card, you know. Item card that gives one of your characters +1 lore this turn. So if our opponent was to activate Eye of the Fates and give Jasmine an extra lore, and then quest 3 instead of 2. But we can't actually do a lot until we can get Rattigan. But I think, we had Rattigan, but then we mulliganed it away, right? Unless do we have it this turn? I actually can't remember. Oh, we do. So we get to use Rattigan this turn. Do we use it? Yeah. So this is where you got to be careful with Rattigan, because it will, in this scenario, because Rattigan will unready. We can get a free quest in. Okay, so we got 5. Activate Rattigan, which will exert one of our opponent's characters under 3. And then it can unexert one of ours. And then that Queen of Hearts cannot quest. But instead, we're going to take the KO with Gaston. So we can leave our Queen of Hearts. And then draw a card. And there, Rattigan coming up, baby. We haven't got any ink to do now, though. But we can... Well, we can't quest with Queen of Hearts because we can't quest again. Nope, can't do that. No. Yep, see. But we can quest with old Cogsworth to even up that lore at 2-0. That Rattigan, honestly, that one of the main things I think about red decks, I should say, is that they haven't got a way to force exert very well. You know, that's really tied to the purple, because you know, like Freeze and Elsa. So having Rattigan is a bit expensive at 5, but it does do the job quite well, I think. Our opponent's going to pay 3 to get Rafiki. Ooh, Rafiki, that 3/3 rush, and our Cogsworth has gone. It's a shame, and it's going to get exerted. That Rafiki, still a good card. I know you see all the bounce decks now that are playing, like all the Madam Mim 2 drops and all that, but Rafiki, a 3/3 on a rush. Honestly, fantastic card, and I still believe it has a place in this meta game. So our opponent still has 1 ink to play with here. I can't quite see what's in the hand, but I don't think purple has much draw for 1, so it's like they're going to use their last ink or not. Ooh, debating it. What have they got for a 1-drop? Oh, they haven't got a 1-drop actually, so it's probably going to be our turn. Yeah, so that's our turn. So this Rafiki is a bit of a problem, because actually if we slam Rattigan into that Rafiki, we get KO'd. Oh, here comes the Street Rat Aladdin. So we reduce our opponent's lore down by 1. And then we can develop my brain. I need to develop my brain. I'm not very smart. So I see a Queen of Hearts. I didn't see what we took, but that's going to the bottom. Oh, I think it was a Shift Cogsworth maybe. So we're going to ink a Gaston. So we've got 2 to play with. Yep. So we've got 2 to play with. And we get down another 2-drop Cogsworth. And then let's see, are we going to deal with this Rafiki? Because Rattigan has 2 lore, so you might want to, like, you know, leave him. But then we get to draw a card if we was to swing. But then the Rafiki with KO Queen of Hearts does KO Rattigan. I'm trying to work out if it's worth it or not. I think it's painful, but we will do that trade. So Rattigan challenges Rafiki. We get to draw a card, KOing both characters. And now it's over to our opponent pretty much, because we can't quest. We could quest with Queen of Hearts, but now we know that our opponent plays Rafiki. That would be terrifying. I think off the Queen of Hearts draw, we actually got the big Aladdin, which is fantastic, because that Aladdin will be how we can finish or try and close this game out. Our opponent does ink. Didn't quite see what it was. Now they're on to 5. Here we go. For a Magic Brew. Okay, that's interesting. Let them shuffle back one of the cards with discard pile back into their deck. There's me saying, oh, you could shuffle in one of mine if you like. I'm joking though, of course. So we're going to shuffle that back in. Shuffle. And then let's see what we can do. It's been quite a long game so far, considering I'm on 2 lore and my opponent's on 1. But, you know, a challenge-based deck is always going to be a bit grindy, all things considered, right? So, looks like looking at my other deck. Showing one of the other people at League what Grab Your Sword does. Because I think they were playing against an opponent and they had like 3 Pinocchios out. And I was like, yo, you need Grab Your Sword quick. That would sort that out. But anyway, so our opponent has played the magic room, shuffled something in, and then so they have what? 3 ink left, and they have got another Rafiki, and it looks like they're debating whether to use it. Yeah, that Rafiki is a good equalizer. It means I can't really get too cheeky with it. Okay, over to us now. So we have, so we're going to use 5. That's going to be for Daring Exploit Aladdin, which we can't use right now because our opponent hasn't got anything exerted. So it looks like we're going to ink Cogsy, 2 drop. We've got 2 ink left, and I think that's all we can do. Or we could get, I think that was a Fan the Flames in the hand, so we could get a cheeky little quest in with Aladdin to get 2 lore, and then Fan the Flames ready up. We could do that to get some more lore on the board. But then if we do that, we haven't got that Fan the Flames later for when our opponent eventually decides to start questing. So I think I'm just debating whether to quest and leave it, or quest and Fan the Flames, because Magic Broom plus Rafiki does actually get a KO on Aladdin. So I think we are going to quest for 2. So now 1 to 4, and we are going to Fan the Flames to ready up. There we go. So now the Aladdin is safe basically. So we got a cheeky little 2 lore in, and our opponent cannot target the Aladdin via challenges, which is why we did that. Wow, our opponent's got a lot of ink going on here. So we see a Grammatala, very good card. When it gets banished, it can go to your Inkwell face down exerted instead. Good card, good card. Just good for accelerating that ramp. And looks like our opponent has a Maleficent, which is a scary card. So our opponent is our opponent's making it hard for us as we shift into the other Cogsworth. So now all our characters reduce damage by 1. So that can quest for 1, 2 I should say. And this is where the Cogsworth actually pretty handy. If when our opponent starts to do stuff like this, where they're not going to start exerting, we can at least get some questing for 2. Now I think questing with this Aladdin is scary, but I guess with the resist, Magic Broom plus Rafiki now doesn't actually KO, right? Because the Magic Broom would do 1, Rafiki would do 2, and the Grammatala would do 0. So Aladdin is actually safe right now. So, which is quite fun to say. Yeah, that Cogsworth, honestly, is a very, very strong card. Oh goodness, my opponent has exerted everything. Ooh, now that is scary. And then they're going to do Eye of the Fates plus Grammatala. Okay, so that Maleficent is a 3 Laura or 4 Laura with Eye of the Fates, and has 6 willpower. So we can't. Aladdin doesn't actually one-shot that, but it's going to be big geezer coming down. Oh, we want to go. Oh no, I thought we were going to put the Maui down. We've gone double Cogsworth. So now Aladdin reduces damage by 2. So and there goes Daring Exploit. So now we gain 2 lore, our opponent loses 2 lore. And then we get Queen of Hearts to draw a card as well. Now this is where stuff's going to start to get silly. This is the deck operating at full capacity. When you have, you know, Daring Exploit going live, you've got Queen of Hearts drawing cards. The only thing we're missing here, realistically, is the Shere Khan. If Shere Khan was here, we'd be able to do equally silly things. And they can see how powerful our Daring Exploit is. We just erased our opponent's last turn. And let's see what they do. They're gonna, wow, what's that? 6? 5 ink they're exerting right now? Uh-oh, this could be something big. What is this? What is this? Pascal? Oh, okay. And Eye of the Fates. So double Eye of the Fates is interesting now. This is where I'm going to be so glad that we have Daring Exploit to just remove all this extra questing power. So it looks like we're going to see a quest there. So what? 4, 5, 6, 7. Wow. So that's going to take our opponent to 8 lore. A 7 lore turn. But they are finally exerted everyone. So this means if we have a way to reuse Aladdin this turn. Oh my, I think we do. I think we actually do, because we top decked, I feel, what was it called? That song card, I forgot what it is. So, we challenge Magic Brew. And I actually did things a little bit wrong here. My opponent let me take back my ordering. So what I should have done, I should have targeted the Rafiki first, took the 1 damage, and then I could play Go to Distance. Go to Distance actually says it has to be a damage character. And when I realized this, I was like, oh, and we had a little discussion about it, and my opponent would say, well, just attack the Rafiki first, basically. So there we go. So let's see what we can do here. So then Aladdin can swing in again. Boom! We gain 2 law. So we're up 4 law this turn. And we take 1 damage. We reduce 2 more law from our opponents. Draw a card, Queen of Hearts. We're at 16. We could actually just double quest right now, right? So then quest. Oh no, we're going to challenge. We are bloodthirsty. Why did we challenge for? Oh, so we can fan the flames again. So now that's 3 uses of Aladdin. Aladdin's got us 3 law this turn. I mean, not 3 law, 8 law this turn. Oh my goodness. Aladdin, and we've removed like what? And there's a Shere card as well. So Aladdin, boom. Daring Exploit activates again. 8 law, reducing 2. And then Cogsworth, and Shere can't activate, takes us up to 19. And then we quest with that Cogsworth. It shouldn't have damage on it. Yeah, I just watched that fall on it. And then Cogsworth can quest for the last 2 law for the game. So yeah, there you can see the power of that Aladdin. If you can use Aladdin multiple times, whoo, it gets a bit scary. And we didn't even have Shere Khan out for most of that game. So you can imagine if you had Shere Khan out early on, that game would have been over a lot faster. Now, here is the updated list. Let me know what you think. And then if you want to win this Shere Khan card, all I want you to do is like the video, comment your favorite card in the deck, and subscribe. I will draw it in about 2 weeks, and then I will ship that off globally. And if you want to build any of these decks IRL, you're gonna need some sleeves and accessories. So why don't you head over to Dragon Shield, use the code down below, and if you're gonna buy anything, use code BERTS to get yourself 5% off, and it supports me as well. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.